Hello guys, welcome to our today's episode. Today we are lucky to have a guest by the name Peter. Peter has been through depression, but he was able to overcome it by the grace of God. So he will be sharing with us his journey through that big mental health challenge that most of our youth are going through and they do not know how they can be able to overcome it. So he'll be sharing with us how he got into the depression, how he was able to fight through depression, and also share with us some tips on how we can be able to fight depression if we get ourselves in such a position. So welcome very much, Bona Peter. You can start by telling us your name.
Uh, I'm grateful. First and foremost, I feel thankful for this opportunity because I believe this is a special opportunity or a chance for me actually to digest as I share my experience or the experience that I got through the depression period. And I'm grateful because I hope that it will save a life, it will encourage someone, it will empower one who is uh, going through the same, or even one who feels so much overwhelmed, who are overwhelmed by any situation. And in life, these are normal things that we really, as humans, do go through in some periods or in some phases of life. So it's a normal thing, and I hope it will bless and change someone's life. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Bona Peter, can you kindly start by telling us how you felt or the feeling that someone usually have when they are going through depression?
Well, I felt, and I even now think that it's the most difficult situation for someone to be in or to go through because you really don't even understand what's really going on within your mind. You can't feel the connection uh, that is supposed to be between your thoughts, that is supposed to link your thoughts, your emotion, and the reality in which you are in or your environment in general. So I think that as per my experience, I experienced a very difficult period as I was going through this phase in life, and a confusion that does not leave you, and a burden that feels overwhelming, especially to your mind, and a state of being restless. And as per my case, I even almost suffered dementia. So I really suffered and went through depression a very uh, in a very tough way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at what age did you get the depression?
Okay, this happened last year actually, and from around August, around actually July, August, September. That was the time that I was gradually heading to depression, even actually without my knowledge. So I was, I am actually 22 years. So by then I was 21. Yeah.
Now, I can see you are a young man. Can you kindly tell us how you found yourself or what caused you to be depressed at this very early age that most of us may be things at you are 20 years to 25 years. You are just a jovial person going out having parties, but now for you, instead of enjoying that, you found yourself in depression. Now, can you share with us like what made you to be depressed?
Well, I first of all, I want to oppose this spooky idea about everyone thinks that because you are young, or because you are a young man or a young woman, you can't get through challenges in life. And I think that a very flawed ideology to think something like that. and or to have such a belief.
So you believe even young people can get depression?
Yes, I believe there is, although we need to first of all acknowledge that uh, your your experience of life, and also your, as in your status, that is, do you have parents, or so many things are at place, are at work in, and can really cause you to be depressed, or even can affect your mentally. Yeah, especially if you are really going through a tough situation or experience in life, whereby you find that some people, they have what we call childhood challenges, and because of this, some of them actually are not even taken care of, because parents or adults get to assume that because I have started providing what you needed or what you lacked, then there is nothing else that is supposed to disturb you. And then we tend to forget that if the child or if the young person was previously undergoing challenges, then it means that sometimes we need to talk, to sit, and approach and openly discuss about your previous situation and how it affected you. And I think that if we give that kind of an approach, then most of the things that really affect the young people can really be solved.
Now, for your case exactly, what made you to be depressed?
Okay, as for me, I would say that in our young age, as young people, we get to a stage whereby you want to adventure in life, and you want to you are actually in pursuit of knowing who you really are, and you are actually trying to find out what you can do, and why you have to do some things. And so because of this, I was in such kind of a situation, and I my heart was very receptive, especially to learning new ideas and to amassing new information that would really enrich my mind. But I forgot that I also need to as in to control what gets into my mind and what does not get into my heart. So because of this, I allowed all so many kinds of ideologies and so many kinds of beliefs to interfere with my system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually for you it's the environment or the society that made you go into depression?
Yeah, for I believe that to be the biggest, or the biggest cause for my depression, or for my recession period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did anybody ever notice, apart now from you yourself starting noticing those strange feelings, did anybody else from the community, maybe parents or guardian or friends, ever noticed that you had changed?
Okay, as they noticed, though it was too late, because it had already gotten deeply into my mind and into my heart, almost to effectively impact me greatly. And as when they noticed, I was actually like 2 weeks. It was actually around 2 weeks before I went into what we call now a stage where you can be able to identify whether a person is really suffering mentally, in going through depression. Yeah.
So they determined or they noticed that you are depressed when it was too late.
Yeah, because at first actually I was acting normal, and if I can share these experiences, that I felt normal as I used to be, as I've been used to be. And so because of this, I could not think of anything that could really have changed me or could really have changed in my day-to-day activities, because we actually get to examine ourselves from how we the change from which we can be able to notice from the things that we do in our day-to-day life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you actually notice that now I think I have depression, or I think I need attention for my mental health?
Well, just to be honest, I would say that I would say that I didn't actually notice that it was depression, because if you haven't been into something, it's very difficult for you to actually identify when you get into it. So I first of all linked it to stress and to just normal normal state of being, feeling tired or exhausted. Yeah, and because of that, I could not take the right steps or the right measures that are supposed to be taken to avoid that kind of a situation.
So we can have people who are already going through depression, but actually they are not seeking for the attention or care because they do not know what is happening within them.
Okay, first of all, I would approach that in a certain way, because I believe that everyone has his or her own way to dealing with situations in life. And because of this, many people tend to gain what we call, they tend to look for solutions in different way, especially if there is something that would really make you to feel to enjoy or to feel excited. Some people tend to run for those options, and they tend to suppress their status by actually introducing something that is enjoyable to counterattack the experience, the tough experiences they are facing in life.
So instead of them dealing with the challenge, they are running away from it.
Yeah.
And when you feel that your mind is not stable, instead of you handling that, you look for something that excites you.
Yes.
But actually, the problem does not go away.
Yeah.
So how did you go about it when you realized that now you are depressed and you need attention or care? Where did you start and how did you go about it?
Okay, the reason why I just say that is because as for me, I believe I know very well that I am so much in love into music, and because of this, I used to soothe myself into music, but it never at once did counterattack the effect that I was receiving, all the pressure I was receiving from my environment or from everything that I was engaged in. So because of this, although it really helped, it's medicine, but it could actually encourage me to dwell in complacency and to just suppress those thoughts and those emotions of which I could have dealt with earlier and then avoided such kind of a situation. So I think that if I would have approached it earlier without first of all trying to engage those kind of solutions or those kind of that music, I would have counterattacked it at the first stage, from which it wouldn't have extended to getting fully into depression.
Okay. So when you noticed you had depression or you had these strange thoughts, you decided the music will go better.
Yeah.
or it will make those feelings go away,
Yeah.
but they never went away.
Yeah.
So how can you tell, or what advice can you give to a person who maybe is having the same strange feeling and maybe they don't know whether they are depressed or it's just normal stress, or they are just listening to music as you are doing when you feel strange thoughts, you go and do something that excites you, but in return it does not take away the strange thoughts. So what advice can you give to people who are going through the same?
Well, first of all, I would just encourage them and tell them that it's okay to be in the situation where you are facing challenges, because it's normal in life. And we can say that life is unfair, because when you're saying that life is unfair, someone else is enjoying life. So I think that the best thing or the best approach to go about it is to first of all accept the challenge in which you are facing, or if it is for me, if for my case, I would have accepted that, I would have acknowledged the fact that the stress, the overwhelming thoughts, or a lot of activities that were really overwhelming my mind, if I would have acknowledged that they were coming from a certain environment, then I would have
Changed the environment.
yes, I would have changed the environment and isolated myself, because I know that when you face such kind of a situation in life, actually you are being trained to expand your mind or to grow, because those challenges actually allow our growth. So I would have taken a chance to first of all separate myself from the environment, and then isolate myself for some time, and then maybe try to, because I believe that isolation leads to transformation most of the time. I would have tried to first of all examine myself and know what is really the problem or the cause for this, and I would have been able to come up with one or two things that were really affecting me, or that were in my environment and were really against my beliefs, because I know very well that, because the things that really affected me were things that really opposed what I believe, or my principles in my life and my heart and mind. Yeah.
So our viewers, you can be able to take some point on the tips that you can use maybe when you find yourself in a similar situation. One, make sure that you understand your feelings, you know yourself. So when any change is happening within yourself, you can be able to note and know where the stimulus is coming from. If it is from environment, you have been told that you can sit from the environment or isolate yourself for sometimes or take a break. Then you can be able to internalize and try to understand your feelings. So back to Mr. Peter. What can be, or what is your last word to anybody who is going through depression?
Well, I would tell anyone, whether you are older than me, whether you are younger than me, the experience is the same. Yeah, so because especially, when you get into depression, you need to follow the same steps to get better. And when you get into depression, you cannot, even if you are working, you'll have to be given a break. That's mandatory. And so I believe that the experience is the same, because at that time you're not engaging with a lot of activities, and you're not engaging with your previous undertakings. So what I would tell our viewer is that you first of all need to know the cause of the problem. And when you know the cause of the problem, you need to examine where am I at? You need to examine your disposition. Where have you been dispositioned to? Not necessarily your location, but has that situation disposed you to certain to respond to the environment. So when you realize where you are, you can be able to know how to take steps to go where you want to go. Especially, I know that the goal as per that time is to recover.
Okay.
So, and then you need to first of all understand yourself, and then know and have in mind that life is given in doses, as my mentor always says, Dr. Miles, that we receive life in doses. And because we receive life in doses, it means that whatever experience you are going through will not last.
Okay.
It means that that situation, you will be able to overcome it. But then I would like to emphasize that to the viewer, if you are going through these situations, just know that you are the one who is actually going to determine whether you want to get out of that situation or not. And if you find it difficult, you can seek help, assistance, and even find people like me who have been through the same, a very tough one, and then you can be able to get the encouragement from them. And then know that medication does not really actually solve your problem fully. Medication actually is just a part of recovery, or it's just a means to an end to that recovery. So I feel that we need to really, this is just a caution, and I feel that we need to really guard our hearts. You need to love yourself. If you have gotten into that situation, you first of all be your own encouragement. Yeah. As for now, those are the things that I could think about or express for now. There is more.
So thank you very much, our viewers. At least today you have learned something. When you are faced by a challenge, you do not try to escape from it, but you have to encourage yourself so that you can counterattack what is challenging you, and that way you'll be able to develop the muscles of your mind. So I have also learned that you cannot be able to fully change the event or the environment, but through the decision that you make in the process. The decision can be either to make you heal or to make you worsen into depression. So thank you very much. Until next time, have a good time, and you can also comment and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We shall be coming back with more videos, and we hope to keep you encouraged and in touch. Thank you very much. You can say goodbye to our viewers.
Well, I would just want to tell them that there's more coming.
Okay.
Yes. And feel encouraged.